Hi, this is Benjamin, founder of Farmagain. Polyhouse farming is actually gaining momentum and it is emerging as one of the major trends in India. That is because although there is a high investment at the beginning, it does give good returns. There is a good promise of great returns. But then, if you actually walk into many polyhouses, you can see some people actually making a lot of productivity, a lot of money. And you will also come across people who are probably not making as much as the other set of people. So, I would like to basically summarize what makes a few people succeed and not others. That's what we are going to focus in this video. Based on our experience in interacting with our customers, Polyhouse customers, I would like to actually summarize what common mistakes people commit in polyhouses that lead some farmers not to succeed. But then for me to explain the solutions, the time isn't enough. Therefore, there will be a separate webinar organized where you can participate and understand the complete solutions. Let us look at right from structure. Now, most people go with subsidy for polyhouse, and because we go with subsidy, there is a structure that is recommended or mandated by the government, and people just follow that structure. Now, the ideal structure has to accommodate air infusion into the polyhouse, and the reason why you need to have air infusion is to get carbon dioxide in so that the plants have enough carbon dioxide for them to participate in photosynthesis. That is where the biggest common mistakes begin, where the dimensions are not maintained right. Ideal dimension would be 4,000 square meters, and not all the polyhouses are in that structure. This is one. And number two, the height of the polyhouse and even the spacing between pillars in the polyhouse. The subsidy mandates you to go with 8 by 8, but you can actually go with even larger for you to make it more optimal and help more airflow so that more carbon dioxide gets in. A lot of people depend on NHP for subsidy for polyhouses, and there are very few people who would like to stick to ideal or the scientific dimensions, the locations, and go with the kind of structure that is suitable for their crop, their location. And polyhouse subsidy gives you, say, around 40% discount. You can call it as a discount. And if you do not take subsidy, again, your cost of construction comes down by about 20 to 30% in any case. That is because you can have wider pillars, and because of which the sheer weight of steel is reduced. Next point is about side curtains. In India, most of the polyhouses are anyway naturally ventilated polyhouses. And naturally ventilated polyhouses do come with side nets and a poly sheet on top of it. And there is a reason why the poly sheets are given. You have to keep them open for air to come in, and when it is not required, you'll have to keep it closed. But you will seldom see some people actually open it or close it. They always either remain closed or they remain open. That's the other mistake people should be aware of. The next point is on the foggers. If you look at the polyhouses that were constructed about 5 years ago, they all had by default foggers because that was like a norm people had. But rarely people operated it. And even people who operated for minutes together, hours together, leading to severe fungal infection. But there is a way in which the foggers have to be operated, and there is a reason why they should be operated that way. And you have to really do it right. Otherwise, the foggers, which ideally should help you in gaining VPD, which is vapor pressure deficit, will eventually become your enemy, which leads to fungal. So foggers are necessary, important, but there is a way in which they have to be operated. The next common mistake is choosing the medium for cultivation. You still can see a lot of farmers cultivating inside a polyhouse in soil. That's insane. I mean, you spend so much money in constructing a polyhouse, but why do you want to depend on all the soil pathogens? The coco peat or any substrate cultivation is the best for polyhouse cultivation, because these substrate, they don't have anything on their own. Any nutrition that you want to supply, You can basically calculate and then make these plants consume what they ought to consume with no negative impact that could otherwise come from the soil. The next and the most important point is on selection of drip irrigation. A lot of farmers even till today have normal drip irrigation inside a polyhouse. There are different types of drip irrigations available in the market, and there is one specific type called non-drain drip irrigation. And you have to have non-drain drip irrigation, and inside a polyhouse you have to give pulse irrigation. So non-drain laterals with pulse irrigation gives you the best results. Normal irrigation or even PC laterals based irrigations are unlikely to help you unleash the maximum potential of the polyhouse. The next point is about air inlet and exhaust. Not every location needs it, but wherever it is necessary, depending on the temperature and the humidity of your region, you have to really plan for air inlet and exhaust. And some people also do plan for fan and pad system, but fan and pad system does not work effectively everywhere. So you got to really calculate whether fan and pad is right for you or just a set of air inlet and air outlet, and the right logic to let air in and exhaust them out as required have to be in place. The most important step here is managing the nutrition to the plants. Assuming you already have soilless cultivation going on and you have non-drain irrigation taking place, you are in the sweet spot. The next best thing you can do is to manage EC and pH real time so that your plants get exactly what they need within the pH range the plants actually love. And if you can do this, you are really doing a great favor to your plant, and the plant is going to do a favor back to you. And then the last point of today's discussion is about pest management. Yes, in spite of having a polyhouse, in spite of managing your side curtains appropriately, you may still end up facing a lot of pests. One of the common routes for the pests to enter the polyhouses is managing your entrance. How many people manage the entrance really right? You can see when the polyhouses were constructed, the entrance is filled with hydrogen peroxide only for a few days, and after that most entrances the doors are left open, letting the pest actually go in and roam free. Remember, pests also love the polyhouses. Once they go in, they multiply happily there than outside. Today we went through a couple of common mistakes polyhouse farmers often commit. For lack of time, I'm going to end at this, and there will be a follow-up webinar shortly where we will talk about all kinds of issues, including what we discussed today and the solutions to those issues. And if you would like to know those solutions, please do subscribe and get notified for the webinars, and do participate in a webinar to get a complete know-how of how to manage your polyhouse. Thank you.